Good morning, beautiful team. Happy Monday, happy Monday. I don't know why this looks like this. But we're here. I can hear you, you can hear me, and we are going to have a good time today. Happy freaking Monday. We got red lips on. Why? Because we are starting the week with a bang. All right. I've been feeling, guys, this is a little bit of like a little bit of a side note, but lately I feel more like motivated. I feel more like powerful. I feel more like this is like, you know what I'm saying? Like more in character of like what I'm trying to build here whenever I wear my red lips. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but I wore it like 4 times last week and I was like, you know what? I feel amazing in this. So, anyways, little side note, just to, sometimes you're gonna do silly things that don't make sense to others that make sense to you. All right. But anyways, guys, happy Monday. If you're watching this on the live, as always, make sure um saying hello in the chat and share a win with me, amp me up, just like how I help you guys get motivated and inspired and so on. And what got you guys here, you guys inspire me too. All right, believe it or not, you guys literally inspire me all of the time. So inspire me and share with me a win, something that you implemented over the weekend or last week or in this program in general, whether this is your first day being here or this is, if you've been here for 2 3 years. Okay, I don't care. You should be aiming to win every single day. You should be aiming to implement and apply what you're learning, what you are learning on the daily basis, whether it's about calories, macros, nutrition, mindset, self-development, self-care, empowerment, whatever the case may be. You should be practicing it. Okay, information without implementation means nothing. All right, so we could be having all of these meetings every single week. We could be giving you guys all these cute presentation slides that I've been having a lot of fun putting together for you guys. But the whole idea at the end of the day is that we implement. Okay, because it makes no sense to do all of these crazy things and have all the perfect plan in place if we're not implementing. So share a win with me in the chat. I think you guys have to go to the actual YouTube link in order to participate here. All right, so Isabel, good morning. Hello. Olivia said my big win, saying no to a weekend getaway because I know I had to hit my macros, gym session, to meal prep, and get ready for the freaking week. That is huge. That is a win right there. Huge win. Super proud of you, girl. All right. That's a hard one. Guys, that's a hard win. All right. That's very hard to do. It's not easy to say, you know, um, no to others, right? But think about it like this, guys. Whenever you're saying no to others, that means you're saying yes to yourself. Mic drop. Mic fucking drop. When you're saying yes to others, I'm sorry, when you're saying no to others, that means you're saying yes to yourself, and vice versa. Every time you say yes to others or to something that you don't want to do or something that doesn't align with yourself, you're basically saying no to yourself. All right, you're basically training yourself like your goals don't matter, your needs don't matter, you don't care about yourself. You're basically training yourself into doing that. Okay, so that is a form of self-sabotage, which we're going to talk about today, because I think that this is a work in progress. Up to this day, sometimes I catch myself self-sabotaging a little bit. And again, guys, you guys know that here I am very transparent with you guys. I am very open and honest with my journey of trying to be the better and the best version of myself, just like everybody here. Just because I am your coach, just because I am the person that built this here, doesn't mean that I have it all figured out or that I'm perfect or anything like that. If anything, I think that it's just for us is better. Like we can connect on that level. Like at the end of the day, we're all just trying to better ourselves, work on ourselves on the daily basis. And I think that having these sweaty palm conversations with ourselves here and there and calling ourselves out is important, because that is a form of progress and a form of growth. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, guys. We have a full house today. We have a freaking full house. I'm here for it. Let's go. Brenda, my beautiful queen. She said, my biggest win, seeing my little brother meal prep and being reminded that making time for meal prepping is a non-negotiable. What a fucking win. What a win. Selena said, my win is sticking to my workouts and meal plan. Even after a busy weekend at work and picking up an extra day, I wanted to so bad just eat out and skip my workout on Sunday. Girl, I feel you. And Selena, you're in the trenches right now. All right. If you're new here, you know that the first 4 weeks is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's hard, even though we're eating good food, but it is hard on the mindset, because just like Selena had a hard day, she could have been like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to get Chipotle. I'm just going to get something healthy. I'm just going to, no. All right. Which is great sometimes here and there, but she's still at the beginning stages of her journey. So what does that show you? That she's making the hard decisions, and the hard decisions is what makes things easier over time. All right, so super proud of you guys. As you guys are dropping in, make sure you guys are showing your wins here. Again, you guys inspire me every single day. Okay, so let's get into it. I am, before anything, let me try, guys. I don't know why this looks like this, by the way. I don't want it to look like that, like I want it to look landscape. Let me see if I can change this layout. I think here. I don't know what's going on. Why this looks like this. There was an update, but I'm not sure what's going on. Visual effects. What's this? I don't know what this is. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna keep it. All right. So let's get into it, ladies. So today we're going to talk about self-sabotage. And again, like I tell you guys all the time, we are all a work in progress. That means that we are all literally working on ourselves, working on the little things, on the tweaks that we need to make in life. And how do we get better at all of this craziness of life? Okay. So, oh, there we go. This is how I can make myself big. I don't know what this is, what is going on. All right, sorry guys, let me see. I don't know why this guy is cropped. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this guy is. So why is there a cartoon there? Do not know why that is. But we're gonna jump right into it regardless. Okay, so let me share my screen one more time and we're gonna get into it. Again, guys, I've been having a really good time sharing this with you guys and presenting this. Okay, so we're gonna talk about self-sabotage. It is literally just fear disguised in a pretty outfit. All right, we're going to talk about recognizing the hidden behaviors and the hidden mindset, excuses, and things that we tell to ourselves or to each other, right, that keep us stuck, and how we are going to break it, or at least get better at managing them. All right, like I said, guys, before, I feel that we are constantly going to like be self-sabotaging, not on purpose. So it's very important for us to be aware of how to fix it when it needs to be fixed. Okay, so what self-sabotage actually looks like. Okay, so this is something that we've all done, and if you took a long time to join the program, because I've had conversations with some of you guys probably months ago, or months if not years before you actually joined, you were self-sabotaging the whole entire time. And this sounds like, I'll start Monday, I'll start when after my kids go back to school, or when the kids are of summer vacation. I'm too busy, my job is too demanding, I already messed up, I'll try again next Monday, or I'll try again next month. I had a conversation with somebody, right, last week, and I kind of called her out on it. I'll be honest with you guys. I have daily conversations with so many people on my DMs who want to join the program, or they want more information and stuff like that. And this particular girl, she said to me that she wanted to start her program in a few months. And I'm like, okay, why a few months? What's going on? Oh, I want to wait until my kids it's out of school. And I'm like, okay, well, you can start now. You can get 8 weeks of progress, and then we can talk about what we need to adjust once your kid goes back to school or gets off school. And she literally went blank. She's like, I never thought about it that way. She was like, you know what? I never thought about it that way. Let's do it. Let's get you started. I want to get started. Sometimes we don't know what we're doing until we are being called out. Sometimes we don't know until we kind of like say it out loud and hear how silly those excuses sound. All right. So self-sabotage, guys, also, like I said, sounds reasonable at the moment. It sounds, again, it's like, you know what, I'll just have more time when this happens. You know what, it's just not a good time right now. You know what, I'm just too busy. I just want to, here's a good one, I just want to do it right. Right? It comes dressed as logic. It comes dressed in perfect timing. It comes dressed in excuses that feel justified. But underneath every single one of them is just fear. You're scared to fail. You're scared that you are going to waste your time, that you're going to waste your money, that you're going to, be just joining another program that just didn't work out for you, right? You're scared. Usually that's what happens. All right. So our brains is, I feel like we're all trying to protect ourselves, right? Our brain is wired to protect ourselves and protect our feelings for safety, what's predictable, and to stay in the comfort zone. All right. But every single one of us here knows that what is required for growth, feeling uncomfortable, getting out of your comfort zone, right? It requires effort. It requires change. So many people want to change their life and are unwilling to change themselves. How are you going to change your life if you're unwilling to change your habits, your thought patterns, your beliefs, all of that? Okay. So when growth appears as, okay, well, you know what, this, it makes more sense to do it that way, you're basically just putting yourself in a box that feels safe. Okay. How self-sabotage shows up in fitness, here it is, right? The disappearing act. Raise your hand if you have ever went ghost on us here as coaches. How many times? Raise your hand, or actually put a me. No judgment, me. Just put me, M-E, in the comments if you have ever saw our messages and didn't reply. How many times have you have gone ghost on us in the program? How many times, or say me, if you have ever, right? If you have ever knew that we messaged you that we're doing our check-ins and you didn't fill out your questionnaire, or you didn't upload your photos, or you just cut, again, you did the disappearing act. Say me. Me. That's me. Me, this, I'm saying it because I've done it to my own coach. I've done it myself. I've done it myself. I've done it to my business coach and I've done it to my fitness coach. All right. We go on the disappearing act. We go ghost because we have, again, it sometimes is a little bit of guilt. Sometimes it's a little bit of shame because we're not doing what we're supposed to. All right. So this kind of looks like we're starting off strong and then we vanish after that bad weekend, or after the stress hit us, or after we feel overwhelmed and then we didn't handle it the way we were quote unquote supposed to. And what I've heard before is like some of you guys feel a little bit of shame, or feel a little bit guilty, or like you guys are disappointing us, right? So say me in the chat. Again, I'm guilty of it too, not just you guys. All right. The second thing is the perfect day trap, right? Again, say me in the comments if you you skip the workouts when, I don't know, maybe you had to a busy day at work and you didn't make it to the gym, so you just didn't work out at all when you could have at least went on a 30-minute walk. Or maybe there was something going on at work and you had a slice of pizza in the morning or cake or whatever, and then you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna order Chipotle when I get home, I'm gonna skip my workout, blah blah blah. So you throw away the rest of the day because something didn't go as planned or it didn't go perfect. I've done that too. Say me in the chat, guys. Say me in the chat. Be honest. All right. The avoidance loop, refusing to track your food because you're afraid of the numbers, or even looking at the scale because you're afraid of what that's going to look like. All right. Me, I've done that. All right. I have a rule. I have a rule for myself that keeps me in line on how I keep my, how do I say it? How I keep my fitness goals in place all year round. People always ask about, how do I, I don't know. I want to learn how to get results for life. How do I maintain my results? You know how I maintain my results? Because I have a rule. And my rule for me is I cannot get above 130 pounds. The minute that my weight starts going up over 130, really back up, really back up. Because that's exactly how people end up gaining 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds over time, because they avoid the number. They avoid the number on the scale. They avoid tracking their food. They avoid the numbers. All right. So you are in this avoidance loop. You refuse to track your food because you're afraid of the numbers. You refuse to look at the scale because you're afraid of the numbers. Okay. So why I'm telling you this specific story was because after my birthday, your girl hit 132. And I was like, not happening. Not happening. And I felt it. I felt it in my face. I was like puffy. Felt it in my clothes. I felt a little puffy. Guys, do I regret it? No, not at all. All right. I got invited out. I had more drinks. I had food. I had cake. I had brownies. Now, was that body fat? Probably not. I did not gain body fat, like 4 pounds of body fat in a week, right? But it was a little bit of an aha moment for me because I've been maintaining very nicely, very easily, and very effortlessly between 127 and 128. So when I saw 132, I'm like, girl, what is going on? Given it was the week before my period as well. But that is the avoidance loop, right? If I were to be on that loop of avoiding the number on the scale, the number of my calories and stuff like that, I would get worse over time. And that is self-sabotage. Doesn't mean that you're like, you're obsessed about like, your weight. No, it's just the reality. It's the fucking reality. We got to look at it. Okay. Next is the timeline or the timeline. Okay. Saying you're too busy while spending hours scrolling, saying that you're too busy when you go to brunch every weekend, saying you're too busy when you sleep in until 9, 8 p.m., 9 or 8 a.m., right? When maybe work doesn't start till 9 a.m. and you could have gotten up at 7 or 6 and worked out. Okay. So those are all ways of self-sabotage that we're not doing on purpose, guys. These are just patterns that you have developed over time. Brenda said, me sleeping in. Girl, yes. The halfway habit. This is another one, guys. Following the plan, but only halfway. Following the plan, but only halfway. Think about it, right? Some of you have your calories, your macros, your meal plan, your workout plan. You have your step goal, your water goal, and all that stuff, but you are doing it half-assed. And then we complain about why we are not seeing the full results with half the effort, with half of things being checked off. All right. Half effort protects the ego, because if you never go in, you never risk failing. Again, guys, all of this I've done myself. Okay. So this is the stories that we tell ourselves over time. Okay. Number one, I've always struggled with my weight. I'm just not a disciplined person. I'm not a morning person. This is just who I am. I just can't stay consistent. I'm just a mom. I'm just a nurse. My job keeps me busy. I'm just this. You're not just that. Okay? This is a dangerous loop. This is a dangerous loop. When we keep repeating ourselves back and forth with long enough, your behavior starts proving it. Okay? If you keep saying you don't have time, guess what? You are going to make yourself look busy. You're going to be spending your time somewhere else, because then you start to prove yourself that you are too busy. The story becomes the evidence. The evidence reinforces the story, and the cycle continues until you decide to say, you know what? No fucking more. I'm going to make a change. If I have to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to get my workout in at least twice a week, right? And then I'll do the other 2 days on my days off, or days that I can sleep in a little bit, or at night after work, I'm going to get it done. But if you keep saying to yourself you don't have time, you're never going to think of ways to make the time. Okay? Self-sabotage is often an identity, not willpower. Okay? We talk a lot about identity here because your identity is literally everything. What you say to yourself, how you present yourself to yourself, right, means everything. Common beliefs are going, your common limited beliefs are going to run the show. All right. So we want to be careful what we're saying it and how we're saying it. Okay. So the fear underneath self-sabotage. Okay. Fear of failure, fear of success. Guys, this is a good one. This is something that people don't think it's a fear, but it's actually a fear. Actually succeeding. What if my life changes and then I can't handle it? If I can't handle all the success that comes my way, if I can't handle being able to have my dream body with my dream spouse, with my dream job, right? Fear of judgment. What will other people think if I, you know, take out my food scale at a restaurant, right? What are people going to think if I get quote unquote too skinny or too obsessed with the food scale or tracking my food? Like people will say comments like that. Literally, people will say comments like that. You're getting too obsessed with that. You're getting too skinny. You're getting too, all you do is go to the gym, or all you do, blah, blah, blah. Have some fun, blah, 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 which is okay sometimes to have. And it's okay to have that balance. But sometimes we don't stick to the things that we want to do because we're afraid of the judgment from somebody else. All right. Another thing is the fear of discomfort. What if it feels too hard to sustain? And guess what? It is going to feel hard. That's the fucking point. If not everybody will be able to do it. Okay, fear of change. What if becoming her, the person you're trying to become, means losing who I am now? That's a hard one. What if becoming her means losing who I am now? I'll be honest with you guys. I used to say, this common saying is like, oh, I want to feel like myself again. I don't agree with that. I feel like I want to feel better than ever. Not like before. I always want to feel better. Okay, so fear, guys, doesn't usually say I'm afraid. It shows up as excuses, procrastinating, and finding reasonings, right? Which try to justify reasons to wait, to reasons to why this isn't the best time. Okay, so the self-sabotage cycle. You might be stuck in this cycle. Okay, you might be stuck in this cycle of motivation starts really high, then discomfort and doubt. Then we slowly go to old habits, and then the guilt restarts over again. And then you go ghost. And then you wait until you gained another 5 to 10 pounds or completely fell off track with your macros and completely lost routine of your workouts. And then to say, you know what, I'm ready for a change again. I'm ready to lock in again. And then you're back here again. Motivation, you start, and then you again gets too hard, gets too uncomfortable, and you stop. You self-sabotage, you stop, and then you return to old habits, and then the guilt. And so you're stuck in this cycle. Without awareness, this cycle is going to repeat for years, if not your entire life. I want you guys to remember that the goal here is not to be perfect, is to learn to catch yourself early. Catch yourself early. Okay, so breaking the pattern. You don't need to be perfect. You need to interrupt the pattern. So instead of skipping certain things, we're going to understand that 20 minutes of doing something is better than doing nothing. Instead of quitting, we're going to reset on the next meal, the next hour, not the next Monday. Notice how I said the next hour. If you fucked up at lunch, the next hour, you're going to decide what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, or the next meal, how are we going to fix it? Okay. And when I say the next hour, is because that's when you make the decision of what the rest of the day is going to look like. Okay, same thing on the weekends. If you messed up on a Friday or Saturday, that in the next hour after what happened, you need to decide what the next step is going to look like. It comes with a decision, not just the actual action. Okay, instead of avoiding, track honestly for awareness, not judgment, guys. Today is day one of me actually, right? Tracking my calories again, tracking all my macros again. And the reason why I'm doing this, I'm back to 120, 120, 129, by the way. I'm not doing it for any specific weight goal or anything like that. By the way, guys, I've been intuitive eating for the past like 3 months or so. I've been maintaining my weight again, like honestly, very effortlessly between 127 and 128 for I think since like November, again without tracking macros or anything like that. I did for a little bit and then I will like stop a little bit just because I don't really have any specific goals and I'm okay with the lifestyle that I have going on right now, right? I don't need to be doing that. And then I also, full transparency, I've been very busy with a lot of things that my workouts went from 5 times per week to 4 times per week. One of those workouts is just now, instead of going to the gym, it's just one of my long cardio runs, which is when I run 2 to 3 miles. All right. But for the most part, I'm only working out 3 to 4 times per week, guys. And guess what? I'm liking it. I love it. I'm here. But today I am back to tracking my calories and macros just because I don't like to take too long doing it. I like to have my good breaks, my diet breaks, which is something that all of us should go through, and then go and track and kind of like tighten up a little bit and then kind of just maintain that. All right. I'm not going after a certain goal weight or anything like that. But anyways, that's my personal stuff. But anyways, avoiding, all right? Track honestly for awareness, not judgment. Instead of waiting, take action first. Motivation follows after. All right? Consistency beats perfection every freaking time. All right. Now, the person that we are trying to become, the next version, right? Brenda, I remember our conversation. You told me one time that this girl that used to wake up at 5 a.m. inspired you. And I'm like, but why can't you wake up at 5 a.m.? What makes her better that you can wake up at 5 a.m. to go work out? Sometimes we have this idea because something is hard that is not doable for us. And that's not true. Is waking up at 5 a.m. hard? Yes. But you don't need to have this big gift in the world or like you need to be anything crazy for you to also wake up at 5 a.m. Okay. It's just the standards are different. The way you operate is a little bit different. The identity you're building around yourself is different. She's not waiting for perfect conditions. Or you guys think that waking up at 5 a.m. you don't feel sleepy? Hell yeah. I went through my period of time where I was a gym rat and I used to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to be at the gym by 5 a.m. Right? I was also went through a period where I needed to wake up at 3:45 a.m. because that's what I needed to do to get everything I needed to get done. I will wake up at 3:45 a.m., do my morning routine, work for an hour or two, then head to the gym, come back, get ready, and finish the day. Right? It sucked. I was sleepy. I was tired. I did burn myself out. I'm not gonna lie, but I did it. It's not impossible. Brenda, I remember that me and you had a conversation about that, and I was like, girl, why can't you do it? I don't know why you feel like you can't, but you can wake up. Even if you say you're not a morning person, you need to become yourself a morning person. Or at least, yeah, I'm not a morning person, but I get it done fucking anyways. Like, what are we doing here? I'm not a morning person, but I'm gonna get it done anyways. That could be your identity. People who get you could be the person who gets shit done regardless. Okay. So again, show up when it's inconvenient, show up when it's tired, when it's tiring, expect discomfort and move through it anyways. Keep that promise to yourself. Take full responsibility. Take full responsibility. If something did not work out for you, what parts did you take in this? Mm-hmm. If we tell you to track your food and watch the training and ask questions, and then you come to us 6 months later telling me you're still tracking your food with a tablespoon, take responsibility to why you didn't get the results. Take responsibility. If you go ghost and you destroyed your progress and you gained 15 to 20 pounds, take responsibility because we didn't do it. You went ghost on us, right? Taking full responsibility is going to change your life. Okay. Nobody can change it for you. Okay. Staying consistent, even when the motivation fades. Sticking to the plan. Like, you guys all have people in your life that I'm sure that you look up to, whether it's on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, people with perfect morning routines and stuff like that. Love that. Let's have that, that inspiration. And hey, how can I do a version of that? Your own version of it. I'm not saying go and try to be like, do an impossible 10-20 step morning routine, because it just might not work for you as a busy mom, right? But how can I do a version of that allows you to take action, but you do it in your version, like your way that makes sense for you, that is going to make you feel powerful, that's going to make you feel like, you know what, I got this done. I'm getting it done. Not like that, but I got it done. All right. So we're going to have a reflection homework. All right. I'm leaving you guys homework every Monday now. Yeah. Okay. Back to school. Take 5 minutes quietly, and answer these questions without judgment. And if you guys can screenshot this actually and post it in the community, extra bonus points. All right. Not just for anything special, for you to share, because I promise you that you're not the only one going through this. Okay. Based on everything that we talked about, where am I currently self-sabotaging? Where am I currently self-sabotaging? Be specific. Name the behavior, not the feeling. Name the behavior. I'm not tracking my food. I'm not checking in with my coaches. I'm avoiding the food scale. I'm avoiding the weight scale. I'm feeling my jeans getting tight and I'm using sweatpants again. Self-sabotage, okay? Number 2, what fear might be underneath that behavior? Fear of failure, fear of success, of judgment. Are you afraid that we are going to judge you, or that you're going to judge yourself? Of discomfort, right? Yes, it's uncomfortable to look at the scale, to avoid it for months or years, and then look at it. Oh my God. Photos, your pictures is a great one. So many ladies avoid the discomfort of taking photos. Okay. But that is going to help you. Okay. Fear of change. Why are we not tracking our food? Are you afraid people are going to judge you? What action would the future version of you take instead? Not someday, like right now, this week. Okay. What is one small decision that you can make this week to break the pattern? Not a big overhaul, not I'm feeling inspired after this Monday mindset and I'm going to go ahead and do 20 things, but what's one thing that you can do? All right. If you've been avoiding the food scale, how about we track a full day of eating today? Just to kind of see how much you've been really eating. If you've been avoiding the number on the scale, go and weigh yourself tomorrow morning. Look at it, feel it. Where are you? Are you in a better place, worse place, or about the same for the past couple of months? Take your photos, reflect on them. Are we seeing inches? Are we seeing clothes feeling different? Are we, seeing the body composition changes? Because not everything's on the number on the scale, right? But what is one small tweak? Do I need to take out my calendar? Guys, that's one of the things that I was saying. By the way, again, truthful, I felt like I was doing a little bit of self-sabotage because I already know what to do on repeat, that I stopped using my planner. And so one action that I took was I order my planner again, because it helps me stay on track. It helps me organize myself. And I look like a crazy person writing stuff down, right? With so much technology nowadays, but it just helps me. Okay, so make sure that you guys are doing that. Okay, so your action step this week is not trying to be perfect. It's about staying in the game. What do I always tell you guys? The people who are successful are those who stay in the game long enough, trying, not only when it's perfect, but all of the time, like getting back on it, getting back on it, getting back on it. Okay, complete all of your workouts, track your meals honestly, show up without motivation, guys, and continue after the mistakes. Okay, if you are making mistakes, just continue. Just get back up. Nobody's here to judge you. Nobody's here to say, oh, Brenda, you suck. Oh, Emily, you can't do this. Oh, Selena, no. Oh, Selena, you're not allowed to have temptation. Because you had temptation, then, you messed up. Doesn't work like that, guys. Okay, the truth about self-sabotage It's not a character flaw. It's us protecting ourselves, our patterns. And sometimes, like I said earlier, we're doing these things and we're not even fully aware of them. We're not even aware that we're doing this type of things, like these behaviors. Okay. Which is why I like to talk to you guys about this type of things, because sometimes it's not about learning a new macro strategy, it's about breaking the pattern. Sometimes it's not about working harder in the gym, it's about breaking this self sabotage pattern. It's about destroying your old identity. I promise you guys, I told you this before. If you want to see success in your fitness journey, focus on self development, not just macros. Okay? Focus on self development, not just macros, and you will see how easily it is to hit your macros when you focus on self development, because you at that point you're going to want to do those things. It's going to be part of you, not a, oh, I kind of want to do this. It's like, no, it's going to be literally part of you. I don't know what is wrong with this layout. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, ladies. So tell me in the chat what you thought of this. Thank you guys for participating and for being honest. I know it's not easy to say, hey, you know what? I've been fucking up. I've been doing this. I am literally doing this now, or I have those traits of self-sabotage. I know it's not easy. I called myself out on almost all of them because I've done them. All right. And sometimes we'd go through a period of doing really well, and then somehow those traits of self-sabotage just sneak in little by little. Maybe it's eating out more than usual. Maybe it's like stop planning your week. Maybe it's you're drinking a little bit more than usual again. Maybe you sleep in a little bit more again. Maybe you got lazy a little bit again. And again, this is when we've got to pull back and be like, this is just not me. Or this is no longer the original me. Can't do this anymore. Have my fun, but I recognize it. How do I pull back? Okay, nobody's perfect and nobody's asking you to be. All right, ladies. So, Nancy, good morning. Yes, Nancy, I'm glad this hit home. Brenda, I'm glad that this hit home, girl. Isabel, let's go. But I came back. You always come back and we love it. And that's okay. Isabel said, me. The guilty of going ghost. The guilt of going ghost. Yep. Nice. We all done it. We're humans, but we're here. All right. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to drop